depending on how you play those trades.
Yeah, it is tough for the chase though because of the mobility of Renekton. He is able to jump on you, and a lot of it just comes down to spacing and zoning. How much space can Gigo create? If he's got range, he's fine. If Renekton's in his face, he's dead. Chase is very, very squishy target.
Yeah.
I'm still more excited for, I think, Grell's Lilia here. The carry potential it has. Because we've had Lilia played in CBLOL. This is not the first Lilia. It was Disamis and Goot who've played it. Both of them lost with it. And I'm going to be honest, neither of them looked great on it. Goot actually looked a little bit better on that one, only died once. But when you've got such a storied player like Grell, a champion of his own region here, somebody who even within CBLOL has been popping off. He's got high deaths, but he also has high kills. And with Lilia, I think those kills are much more important than the deaths. So looking forward to see if Grell can really stamp his pressure on this map, deal with all the things that INTZ has set up for this Ninja Kiwi potential carry.
Exactly. As a work in progress, the Vivo Kita Stars project here, Grell, a very exciting addition. We've loved what we've seen so far from this guy. And hopefully we'll get to see a little bit more of that in Split 2. I do love it when a roster comes together and stays together, mostly, is the key there. We're seeing Pain benefit from that, I think, right now, with their synergy they've kept over several splits with many of their members.
True.
As the waves will crash in, they will be able to get some idea as to where Yumpy is with that blue ward down the top side near the chickens. And on the other side, Lilia. I'm not really sure what the optimal for Lilia is. Obviously, Lilia's one of these champions with a bit more of a special approach to the jungle, just with the amount of movement speed that you have stacking up the key.
Yeah, and before I talk about the Lilia jungle issue, I just really like your point, actually, that Pain kept their roster together, they're doing well. Loud did the same thing. They actually had the least changes in the offseason with only the 80 carries. So maybe there is something to that here for CBLOL, keeping their roster together. And Red, actually, too, when they won back-to-back splits, same roster they kept together. They changed it, and now look where they are. But let's talk Lilia a little bit here, because we want to focus on Grell, the carry potential here. Lilia, not only is her movement speed fast, but her clear is better at clearing the camps with more mobs in there. So, Raptors, Krugs is actually really, really quick for her, but Yampy actually the first to gank.
Yeah, maybe wishes was a little faster up to this top side as Yampy's found his way towards Gigu. ZZK is there, getting the damage down. Won't find the kill off it. And Jace knows the cooldowns are done. Fires back heavily onto Renekton. As doubt they'll be able to freely crash this, as Yampy maybe has to just give it up and... Okay, Gigu, fair enough on the 1v2. Crushed it.
Yep, and that answered our question. Does Gigo know how to play Jace? Yes. Yes,
there
he does.
is.
Because that sort of confidence is not something you get when you pick up a champion the first time. That's when you know exactly how that matchup goes, how much damage you can take, and more importantly, how much burst that Vi and Renekton put out there. And you could see the moment the burst damage was out, Gigo's like, oh, we can actually start pumping out damage now. I win this easy. You cannot actually reach me. And because of that as well, it's going to be so much easier for Grell to gank. Grell was thinking of going topside, was thinking of making that happen, but ZZK, did he actually drop a ward? I think there are 2 wards in that bush now to make sure that Grell can't get in there and that Yampy can't get in there.
As Grell makes a little foray into the top side jungle. Isn't going to find any camps to do. Yampy's already headed onto the bot side. As Nosferus TP's into mid lane. It's a nice little lead for Grefthar there on the Gragas. But this Gragas mid, it's very famously a tough nut to crack, this champion. It's very hard to make an advantage stick onto him, but the healing from the passive, especially in the mid lane. Oh, hang on a second, top lane. Getting a bit spicy there. Guiga goes back in for the Q again. You can still see that confidence, and the wave's coming back to him if he can hold this in a good spot.
Yeah, Gigo running low on mana as well. Has to be careful compared to Renekton, who has, of course, just a few bars there. Grell kind of hopping into the mid lane. I think he actually stole away the Raptors on spawn away from Yampy there. Not actually sure if it spawned or not. I know he was sitting there waiting for it, assuming that Yampy started there if he ganked top. And yeah, okay, if his Raptor spawned, then I think, he stole that away from Yampy. That's the annoying part of Lilia, with her clear speed as well. It's really hard to lock her down enough to hurt her, and she can kind of do the camps while kiting you at the same time.
Exactly. She's just so hard to pin down. You can get so much done, a little multitasking there. As now ZZK is going for the dive onto Gigo. He is going to get first blood, trade his life, but that wave all goes into the tower.
Yeah, that's massive there. The experience gain that ZZK gets and Gigo doesn't, going to be really solid as well on that top side. And ZZK really trying to enforce his will in this top side as soon as possible. I will say Jace is not as bad as he used to be at scaling. And even if he falls behind in lane here, especially against squishy compositions, you can afford to sit back and skill up into that mid game, wait for that 3-item power spike. So feels like ZZK is feeling the pressure to get that lead early rather than just trying to shut down this Jace.
And that's what we call a good death on EU West. IMC, that is a good death right there. You get the first blood, you get the XP lead. You can see he knows he's not coming out of this one, right? He hasn't even got Dominus.
Yeah, just help Flash because, hey, you know, why not? But like you said, we're not coming back out, and Gigo didn't use his either. INTZ starting up the Dragon here with the broadside priority they had. I like it, and because mid laners are 6 as well, Nosferus has the Weaver's Wall to cut off people on the approach.
Rastiel throws the hook in. We'll know the Dragon is not where it's supposed to be, and can infer what is going on by that as the Hextech Drake is picked up by INTZ. Taking the Dragon lead there, as Grell currently on the top side, still looking for camps to steal, and sadly, is not going to find one, as the red buff's not up either. But that top side is basically Lilia's property, it seems, right now, with the reckless abandon that Grell is just running around it.
The district... That's not Yappy's Raptors anymore. Those are Grell's Raptors. He's picking them up on spawn right now. And Trisha, I want to talk about the side effect of this sort of living in the top side as well, because now ZZK is on an island himself, literally isolated from the rest of his team. It's not quite vertical jungling either, because Grell is clearing his bot side. It's just not safe. And if Yampy wants to reinforce ZZK, he has to be ready to get collapsed on here. And ZZK has to always be wary about burning the Dominus aggressively. If you're low on health without Dominus, you're in dive territory.
Exactly. With all this focus onto topside and VKS, Grell setting up his tent in the topside jungle. The bot lane of Steps and Crastiel are somewhat without assistance or without attention from that Lily at the same time, but they are dealing with it fairly well. They're down in CS. You can see they have been pushed onto their tower most of the time. You know, Phelios and Thresh and Zyra Khan, both strong 2v2ing lanes, but Zyra Khan hits just a certain kind of way. And Ninja Kiwi and Nia using all of that pressure. They know that they've got the jungle assistance if they need it. They don't have to worry about Lilia. They can really get aggressive. He's finally found a camp to steal, and he takes it. But Yumpy now, looking really confident at the level 6 right here. Crastiel's rotating over. Does have a lantern as Nosferus cuts them off, but jumps right on top of 2 of them. VKS split over the wall, and Grell the first to go down. In comes Vigo, 4 to the skies, and now Yampy escaping behind the tower. One more auto from the Jace. Will secure the double. Grevthar on barely a sliver, but Crastiel's ready with the death sentence to slow down ZZK as Guigu grabs the triple. Renekton slices, calls the meat, but he doesn't find it. Even if the lantern wasn't there, Grevthar escapes, scuttles away on single digits.
I'm just saying, Trajan, nobody has ever accused Grevthar of being meek there, so certainly the call not quite hitting straight. And VKS... Never. We were talking about the strength on this top side of the map, and look how much time Grell buys here. It looks bad for Grell, but notice that Yampy's actually scared to fully engage into this because he knows that with the Lilting Lullaby there, if he hard commits, he can just get stalked by Grell. It takes all of INTZ coming in and Grevthar's target selection. Just beautiful. Throwing the cast not to disengage people off of him, but to help Gigo get the kill and trusting that the rest of the team will be able to back him up. And it pays off because Gigo gets to come back in. And more importantly, Crastiel was able to bail him out. That hook, that would have tilted me if I was ZZK.
Yeah, I love watching that play because we talk so much about Grell and Crastiel really coming in and performing above expectations as to what we had for them in this VKS roster. But Grevthar and Gigu, they've been there since the start. They've been part of this struggle since the beginning, and we had such high expectations for them previously from the Red Cannons run, from the double championships of these players. And that play had both sides, right? It had the veteran solo laners popping off, 4 kills now for Guigu, Grevthar executing it very well and slipping away, plus the new high-performing influences being a big part of it. So that's kind of a glimpse of, I guess, what VKS could be, which is what we want to see as Nia and Ninja Kiwi looking to fire back on bot side. It will just be trades of ults and summoners. As Yumpy is there, Steps and Crastiel, they've got to give up all this room.
Yeah, they're trying to get these places as fast as they can. Kate Stars managed to pick up the Herald on that top side, and they were aware of it. So 1.5 plates versus the almost guaranteed 2 plates that Herald will give you. And Trajan, as much as we praise VKS, I think it's worth noting that this is their win cons the top side of the map. Kind of rare in CBLOL when AD carries are so prevalent, but it's how they like to play. INTZ is a much more standard team where they should be playing through their AD carry Ninja Kiwi. So the advantages they're getting bot side, they're going to be okay with that. They're looking for the mid to late pop-off.
ZZK waited for the cooldowns, but goes for the trade, and again, it goes fairly even. Those 4 kills on Jace, doing a lot of work right here. I don't know if he's even bought since he got those 4 kills, honestly, because he's fairly even on inventory right now. As they're trying to hold this wave, Guigo wants to get it shoved in. There is a Vi in the area, but pulling the recall for now.
Yeah, I don't know if Yampy... We saw Yampy try and gank earlier, remember? And it's like, if you don't have enough burst damage to 100% kill this Chase, it could backfire. So a lot of the gank potential, I think, comes about on Gigo's hammer swing. If it's up and available, that lane probably not gankable. There you go. There's the money finally spent, Trajan, that you're waiting for. Gore Drinker picked up. That makes this lane even more difficult to gank here. Gigo is not going to eclipse the burst damage build here. No, he's going for the lane split push build into a Renekton, and a ballsy choice, but one that's worked out thus far.
Oh, Yumpy instead finds his way over the wall. Look at this play so quickly unfolding as Grefthar is popped by the frontline. Grell with a 3-man sleep, and ZZK is coming around the side. Guigu finds the turn kill onto Yumpy Nia, locks up that front line, but Crastiel fires back, and now Steps arriving from the river. Doesn't time the ult, but still finds Nosferus. Ninja Kiwi and ZZK trapped 2 versus 3, but they've got the health lead. Can they navigate it? Xayah looks for the stunt. ZZK as well wants to find it. A flash in for Ninja Kiwi, but can't get the pullback on the Blade Caller. And now Grell around the side. The route onto the Xayah forces the cleanse. Oh my goodness, Ninja Kiwi wanted that one so desperately, but VKS held him at arm's length.
Matt, in Florida, crocs might eat deers, but here on Summoner's Rift, the deer eats the croc apparently. Manages to fend off ZZK as well. The
omnivorous here, man. Jesus.
Is Lilia actually omnivorous? I feel like there's something.
Has anyone seen Lilia eat a salad or anything? I don't think anyone's can confirm or deny this one. Lore masters, can they tell us what does Lilia eat?
Yeah, chat, please confirm if you know. But yeah, Grell at least is definitely a carnivore. I mean, he is massive right now on this Lilia. The demonic embrace alone, the true damage, just ripping them apart as well. And yes, Grefthar goes down. It was a beautiful setup from INTZ, especially that Weaver's Wall from Nosferus to make sure that he was completely, utterly isolated. But yeah, the moment Grell showed up, just the music stopped, popped off. Dragon now up here. The outs aren't up for Cade Stars, but for that matter, INTZ, the critical Featherstorm is also not up for them, so it's just cease and desist or bust.
Yeah, exactly, and that's, the Featherstorm not up for Ninja Kiwi. Now there's the Flash or the Cleanse, so this Xayah, which is normally so hard to lock down in fights, has absolutely 0 of the tools that are great for doing that. As Crastiel throws the hook out and will find Nia, gets a bit of damage down, but won't find it just yet. They're still working on this Drake, pulled it right out of the pit, wanting to play it a little bit cautiously. Grefthar, screw caution, goes in for the flash and gets the counter of Nosferus. Crastiel with another hook into the double flame. Nia looks for the quickening, but Steps will shoot him down before he can get it done. And Nosferus comes around the corner, walks straight into Aphelios and goes down. And this fight is just breaking apart. VKS take another slew of kills as Yampy is forced back behind a tower.
Normally when we talk about spin to win, we're talking about Garen. But this game, it's all about Grell and that blender, man. Just watching INTZ sit in the middle of that was brutal to watch.
It's a 4v5! Oh, I didn't even notice!
Yeah, I didn't either!
wait, no, it's 4v4. Sorry, not 4v5.
Oh, yeah, they showed ZZK's body under turret, though.
Yeah, as this is just Guigo with the, the Gore Drinker and the 4v1. This is close, but the Gore Drinker really makes the difference at the end there. Ooh, right in the flash trade. Another tilter. It's another tilter for ZZK.
Yeah, and it's coming down real close. And that's the scary part for ZZK now, because ZZK played that right. It's not like he misplayed it. He went in, he caught Gigo, he unloaded the full damage there, and unfortunately, one hammer swing, you're out of range. If you don't have that slice and dice ready to go, if you already used it, then Gigo just gets to free fire at you with 0 concern, 0 worry. Now, here's that fight at the Dragon Pit. And again, we said INTZ, it's cease and desist or bust. They went in on the cease and desist. I love the target selection. It's on Grell, but you didn't kill Grell. And then look at what Grell was able to do. Oh, I didn't even notice that lantern, but that's what brought the blender into INTZ, and that's what ripped them apart there. And that interaction to me is going to be scarier than the Aphelios Thresh right now. It's getting Grell into the midst of a fight, a hook from Crastiel, you pull yourself in, you drop the lantern, bring Grell with you, and the engage from VKS is so strong.
Yeah, I am really liking Krastiel's Thresh so far. These hooks have been very solid. Steps though, caught with the seismic shove, and there's the follow-up. All of INTZ ready to pile on. A little bit too far forward there. Well punished by Nosferus, trying to save that Taliyah win streak. Trying to keep himself 100% win rate on this champion so far in this season. As Grell gets aggressive onto Ninja Kiwi in mid lane as well. A lot of trading across the map right here, but it's VKS in control overall. You can see in the gold lead, 3.5 in their favor. 1-to-1 Dragons, and Grell starts to go onto this Herald to maybe break some more of these outers.
Yeah, and on that bot side play, Steps got the turret. His job's done. It doesn't matter if he drops. We mentioned before, K-Star's not a team that plays through their bot side anyways. So without Steps, it means that they can't necessarily contest or they don't want a team fight. But they can continue to get objectives, continue to make plays of their own. INTZ, unfortunately, actually not stepping up towards the Herald. They probably could have pushed K-Stars off, but no, it's a free Herald for Grill.
Yeah, complete control of that river. Steps back into the top side for his Raptor camp, which is on spawn. He's always got to keep clearing your own jungle. Remember, everybody, don't let your jungle go to waste, as Grell is going to pick that one up, and the Herald goes straight down into mid lane. Nosferus drops the Weaver's Wall, separates Steps out, but no one at INTZ feels good about committing to this. Grevthar's over the wall, could look for an engage, could look for the cask. They'll just find the charge into the mid lane tower and back away.
Yeah, and I respect that they didn't actually pull the trigger. It's risky under that turret. Maybe you knock someone else out, but we've seen teams get baited in by that plenty of times there. And K-Stars, they're not in a rush. One thing we didn't touch too much on Trajan in draft was the scaling for both of these teams here. And I think for K-Stars with the Lilia, and we mentioned J scaling not as bad. It used to be Aphelios on their side. Scaling is in their favor. INTZ are really just relying on Xayah to be that big scaling threat. Grevtar are using that to wave clear.
Yeah, and it works pretty well. Keeps that wave out of the turret, and no one really feels good about diving a Gragas, even without the ultimate. He's got his Rod of Ages done. He is going to be fairly tough to make it stick on, but VKS happy enough to just not die, because they've got this inner turret being worked over by Gigu.
Gigo just doesn't leave the top lane. Doesn't need to.
Why would he? He's having a good time up here. Oh, Grell's there to support. Baits in as Guigo drops low, but there's the sleep coming out, and there's big burst coming out of the Lilia.
Oh!
Guigo again drops low, but the Gore Drinker, baby, keeps him topped up.
And right now, ZZK is probably regretting that he didn't go Gore Drinker. The Blade of the Ruined King, fine in the individual trades with Gigo there, but cost him his life. Didn't have that big burst he needed to survive that gank. Nia, looking here. Looking for the cheeky still, but Grell just shredded right through that. And Grell hasn't bought any more damage items. Okay, he's got an amp tome, fine. But it's really just the Demonic Embrace right now, plus his base numbers. Lilia is busted, Trajan. Why do we not see more Lilia?
Yeah, this is after Demonic Embrace was nerfed, specifically to avoid situations like this with the Udyrs of the world, you know? Like, the Amumu's. Demonic Embrace has been tuned down for this reason, and it is still not evident in this game. Grell is absolutely shredding with this Lilia, with the true damage that comes through on the Blooming Blows and the Q. And it's making great use of this pick, so I'm glad that we're getting potentially a win on the board for Lilia right here. Because he said, it's been played twice, they haven't won it. I want to see more Lilia. No one's going to play if they keep losing.
True. But it is CBLOL, and people are willing to try all sorts of weird things. Dragon being starting up by INTZ here. No lilting lullaby means no easy engage for K-Stars, and great wall from Nosferus.
Absolutely, a wall, and gets himself well out of danger as well. Doesn't wall himself into the enemy team in top lane. Does just wall them off, take this objective. Pretty solid stuff. Now, this turret, likely to be the casualty here. They've got a red and white Aphelios next to it, and Guigu with 7 kills. So INTZ, their next question is, how do we get back to our inner?
They just want to go home, Trajan. But yeah, that's what happens when you kind of set that wall up here. Thankfully, the minion wave will push back out, bounce back out, and K-Star is not going to do this. Oh, I like this from ZZK, actually. Well, there's the team who are trying to go home. ZZK decided to go on vacation, and applying pressure on this bot side actually should be able to get this turret unless Grevtar TPs. Yeah, they don't have anybody in position to answer.
Yeah, Grevtar going to hold on to the summoner, and it will be ZZK getting the turret for himself on the bot side. Nice little gold injection for him there, but still a sizable lead for Vivo K-Stars. Looking to end their season on a win right here. INTZ, no playoffs to play for, but both of these teams want to prove that these projects are worth fighting for. We do see roster changes so often in the CBLOL. It's nice to see when the teams stay together, and I want to see more out of these players. As now, Baron has hit live at the 20-minute mark. INTZ grouping up to try and get some vision, or maybe try and find a play, find a pick. I'm not really sure what the best use of their time is here when Vivo Kita are in such a good position.
And INTZ, they're kind of relegated to being reactive rather than proactive right now. They can't really step up. If you look at their vision line, it's not great.
Ooh.
Ninja Kiwi
Steps is going to try and take the game in his hands. It gets instantly dogpiled. But Crastiel gets them all with the flay. And the rotation through from VKS is absolutely devastating. Double for Guigo. And again, Steps, he gives his life, but the play works out.
Yeah, and I just realized...
0 damage. But it's all good. But it's all good, though.
Yeah, man, it was what it was. It caused the fight, so we're good with that. And with the Leandries now picked up as well, look at how quickly Baron's going to burn down with just Grell pumping out, and Gigo pumping out the damage here. INTZ are going to try and answer. Yampi is still up. Smite is available.
Nosferus on the side, has the flash, has to burn it. He's on the wrong side of the map now and might just waste enough time for VKS. Doesn't have his weave as well to get to safety. Guigo finds him out. Seismic Sheriff will delay him for now. But that hammer hurts too much and Talia will fall. The Baron did stop though. So INTZ have delayed this one for now as they're now trying to get a push onto mid lane to answer.
Yeah, Ninja Kiwi back up as well here. And I think that's the bigger threat that K-Stars are being very, very conscious of right now. That the bulk of the damage from INTZ will actually be coming out from Ninja Kiwi. And we've not gotten to see INTZ set up any sort of fights or plays for Xayah. Because Xayah is not actually a pick champion. If we're talking about 80 carries and you want to form picks, those are things like, the Lucian, the Draven, heck, even Aphelios is better at it. Xayah wants to be there for the team fights, where she can get all the feathers down, do that one big pull, and just rip out the souls of their enemies. The more enemies, the better, because it's spread damage anyways here. INTZ just don't have the tools to set that up, and K-Stars have done such a great job making sure that when they commit to the fight, they are bursting so quickly, so hard that Ninja Kiwi cannot do maximal damage.
Exactly. That mid lane fight kind of showed us a little bit of that. We saw how quickly they all just re-engaged on, and Crastiel was a big part of that with the Flay as well. I think as I said, his Thresh is really impressing me today. 1-0-10 right now, doing exactly what he needs to do in all the team fights. And it just kind of continues the thread for him, for me, where he is going above and beyond what I expected from a freshly role swap player.
Yeah, 100% actually. I've not been giving Crastiel enough credit this game because I'm so shocked that Grell's damaged, but Crastiel's the one starting these fights and getting Grell into these fights. Those lanterns have been absolutely on point. We're used to seeing Lilia be the one to engage, with the bowling ball there, Swirl Seed, and into lilting lullaby on multiple members, but that's not been the case here. INTZ hovering on the bot side of the map, they've kind of given up on Baron. They've got the one ward in there that VKS hasn't cleared out, but for all that INTZ had control bot side, we're setting up down there. The moment VKS start walking up, INTZ are just like, no, we don't want any of this. We kind of got to walk away and give up any sort of dragon for free.
Yeah, it's not looking good for them right here as the rest of VKS pivot onto that bot side. And INTZ will check out the Baron, start it up with... Are they doing it? They're in the pit. Okay, they've left it. I just saw them both go over the wall. I was like, oh my goodness, this is too much. So they are just going to go back. They'll clear out the vision. It's all good. And they'll pick up these waves that have been shoved in. But Gigu, ever on the split push, 10-2 right now. And as ZZK was struggling enough before, I dare say it's not gotten any easier there. As he's going for the fight, and this turret's about to fall as well. Oh no, Gigu's overplayed his hand! And the shutdown is there! I cursed him! I'm sorry, man.
Nope, don't be sorry. Kigo deserved that. The turret was right there. You could have taken the turret. Why would you shut the Renekton with stun up under the turret? That was just asking for trouble. And no, INTZ, please don't do this. You're going to go INTS if you go for this one here. Grell is still up. Grefthar is still up as well. Even with that numbers advantage, I don't hold much faith on this. To me, it's on Nosferus. Weaver's Wall has to cut them off.
10 of those 15 kills are currently dead. He does have TP, and they've got 10 seconds to make this one work. Down goes the Baron, down below 3k. Grell's not in range. Baron picked up by INTZ, but they've got to get this fight. Crash on the front line, drops the box, but hasn't survived. Now goes Nosferus, he goes down, and Ninja Kiwi running for the hills. Nia tries to get him out to safety. There's the TP from Gigu.
No way!
Grefler of the wall, the cask. Oh, perfect Featherstorm from Ninja Kiwi to dodge that cask. And I think they've just done it, RMC. I think they've gotten away with it. Nia still running interference, and will W and E to safety. And oh my god, they pulled it off.
Somebody call 911. I want to report a crime or whatever it is in Brazil, because that is illegal from INTZ. How were they allowed to do that? And K-Stars, you saw the moment they walked up, I don't care, it was 4v5. They were so threatening. INTZ just had to run for the hills. They could have just brute forced that into the pit there. Now, Trajan, don't get me wrong. This doesn't change things. K-Stars are still in the driver's seat despite Baron going over to INTZ. But it buys INTZ time to try and scale up again and gives them more opportunities to continue looking for picks and ways to turn this game.
Exactly. The clock ticking on right there. The items coming online. 2 items done for most members of INTZ. We're still waiting on that Seraphs to finish up for Nosferus. But they are scaling up, hitting some good spikes. They're going to pick up top tower as well. The Baron power play is still slightly favorable for them. I think they just need to avoid any fights in the near future right here. Use the push that you can get. Try and absorb some minions. Try and, as you say, use this as just an extra time injection to get to where you need to be before you have no choice but to fight Keystars again.
Yeah, ZZK picking up the Prowler's Claw as well with the GA right now. Can look to split push against the side of Cade Stars and apply that pressure down. But you're right, for large part, INTZ, this is stalling Baron. You're not looking to actually get any fights with this. Dragon did get picked up as well. Was it by INTZ there?
BKS picked it up, I think.
BKS picked it up, okay.
Yeah,
so
even up.
Dragon stacking, not really a win con for either of these teams as well. Because it just got recently picked up, neither of these teams are too worried about it. So INTZ going to be happy, chilling for this. And for Cade Stars, they're calling a TP. Do they want to force a fight here?
I think they want to try and 5v5 while they're still comfortably ahead. It seems like Gigu maybe is just like, okay, sorry guys, on the bot side, that's my bad. But I'm still 10-3. I could still 1v9 this game. Let's go for it. But INTZ, again, no intentions of doing so. They will step forward, or they drop the ultimate, actually. Grail finds 2 with the swirl, so he gets a cleanse out of Nosferus. But Yumpy has just woken up and crashed the L, predicts him with the hook. And now Nia has to go in. The cast stocks back Ninja Kiwi. He's in the middle of everyone. There's the meat grinder again. Shredding through INTZ. They brought everyone to mid lane, forced the issue, and they find 4 kills.
And Trajan, I did not think it was going to go that way. I thought INTZ had the perfect setup there. They just needed to hold off. ZZK was split pushing bot side, but Cade Stars, yeah, I was surprised by the TP from Grevthar. It ended up panning out. It wasn't Grevthar, it was Grell, and it was Crossdeal once again. The lilting lullaby. I thought it kind of got burnt, but no, it was just to set them up, and when the hook landed, that was truly the death sentence onto Yampi and to the rest of INTZ. Base cracked open here. They had the Baron buff. It is now a negative Baron power play.
Exactly, and the Grevthar barrel as well. We might see a replay of it, but the explosive cast caught out Ninja Kiwi. You can see him there. He's still got ult, flash, and cleanse. Didn't use any of them in that fight. Didn't get a chance. Man just got popped back and insta-killed. Yep. And that was like, that could have been the 5-man Blade Caller, right, that you mentioned before. That could have been it, because Nia had them all clumped up, but it just didn't work, because Grevthar said no. And VKS now, they've completely stopped the Baron push, right? I say Baron push like they had a control over a wave. They've completely stopped any Baron buff stalling that INTZ had. They've got the gold lead back improving for them, and it's kind of crisis averted for now.
Crisis deferred, because Cade Stars, with that particular play, also showed us, Trajan, that they can force a fight on any sort of open terrain here. If INTZ, you're not in your base, if you're not under a turret, heck, even if you are under a turret at this point, Cade Stars can just brute force these fights in particularly rough ways. So they're no longer waiting, or they don't have to wait for these neutral objectives to come up. If Cade Stars just wants to siege up a turret here, I think that's well within their purview.
Yeah, Gigu back on the bot side, trying to redeem himself from a few minutes ago. Is going to work on that bot inner, and Grevthar currently matching it on top, with no TP for that Gragas just yet. So VKS still happy, I think, to just crash these waves in, keep control of the map, and then we'll see what they want to play for. The Dragon and the Baron coming up at basically the exact same time. ZZK, they're looking for Gigu. They're going to commit for him again on that shove. They want to keep this Jace out of the equation. Nosferus Weaver's Wall's coming in. It's a 3 versus 1. The man is down again.
This is not working for Cade Stars. You know what works for you. Group up, clump 5, win fight. Gigo again on the side push gets caught. And you know what? What can Gigo do? This is what INTZ's draft was trying to find. Nia getting caught.
Hook onto Nia, into the box, but Rakan doesn't mind that too much. He's gone deep, though. He's gone too deep. And ZZK's been hooked up. He flashes in, tries to find his way to steps. And there's the kill. Ninja Kiwi, so far untouched. He's looking for Grell if they can find the jungler. Flashes in. One auto left, and again, it is Grefthar saying no, refusing access for the Xayah. And VKS, somehow, they've managed to save their jungler. And they have not won the fight by any means. But a hook onto Nosferus. Grell, he's been smited. He's burning away. Can he survive? Again, he lives. As Crastiel will lose his life for the trouble. And INTZ... Oh, that's killed him. That's what seen is just right in the face has killed him. The fact that Grell is still getting kills after going solo that many times. And here's Gigu coming in. Am I late, guys? Is the fight still going on?
Trajan, cue the Benny Hill music there. My goodness. Grell is an unparalleled master at baiting there. Baited both the enemy team as well as his own team into these extended fights. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think it's worth it necessarily. Kate starts trying to set up the Baron here. It's a 31-minute Baron. That one hits a little bit harder. And they don't really have a true tank. I think they actually need Grefthar or Crastiel there to be able to do this one. And it's getting concerning, Trajan, for Kate Star's INTZ. Specifically Ninja Kiwi, as you called there. He's starting to become a big problem. These blade calls are becoming an issue. And more importantly to me was that I saw Ninja Kiwi soloing out Grell in that fight. They're able to chase him down. And once Grell is out of the fight, Ninja Kiwi just feels so much safer and able to pump out that damage.
Exactly. Dragon picked up there by Vivo Cade Stars. They'll go to Mountain Soul Point. But Yumpy has started the Baron on a trinket ward right now. There is a potential flank there on the left side of your screens. Nia's ready and waiting. Nosferus as well. Grell rotating over. Now comes the Weaver's Wall. Now INTZ, they're going to try and finish this one. Grell doesn't quite have flash. He has to wait as the wall comes down. Will he get into the pit? Yumpy secures it. They've got the bounty. They're actually going for the engage as well. But look at Nosferus. He's miles away. And VKS are still together. They go for Ninja Kiwi. The cast dodged out this time. And it's a repeat. They'll pull the heist and they'll pull the recalls. ZZK slips away. How's Ninja Kiwi still there? I thought he was completely out of the fight.
Oh no.
Double kill for Steps. He's found the Graviton. Onto Nosferus flashes into the face of Gigu, who comes round the corner. And Nia, this time he won't escape. Only ZZK with a buff and the TPs to the mid lane. It's all on Renekton. He's got to save this entire game, which I think is a little bit too much to ask of the man. There's the ace with a wave pushing into mid lane. What on earth was that?
Look at the player count, Trajan. Grefthar and Grell were so happy about that. That is how Cade Stars win. It's always entertaining.
No way. That doesn't stop it, does it? No, it's fine. It's fine.
No,
okay.
okay. That was hilarious, though.